Section 9.2 is all about our 6th president, John Quincy Adams. He's going to serve one term from 1825 to 1829, just like his dad. When he was younger, his dad would take him all over the place. So everywhere that John Adams went, he would take John Quincy Adams, who was his oldest child, with him. He very much groomed his son for the presidency because he wanted his son to be like his legacy. Before he became president, John Quincy Adams held the position of ambassador, U.S. senator. He was a Harvard professor, Secretary of State. His personality, slightly different from his dad. He was considered to be intelligent, but he had major depression because of the weight of responsibility that his father put on him. He was strong-willed, cold. He was stubborn like his dad. And he was very much considered to have a sour personality. Just like his father, he hates democracy. He supports republicanism, but he does not want the common man to have any power. So during his presidency, we're going to have an issue that's going to kind of overshadow everything. In the election of 1824, the candidates are John C. Calhoun, William Crawford, Andrew Jackson, and John Quincy Adams. And John Quincy Adams is the only non-slave owner. Remember when I said before, of our first 12 presidents, only one of them was not a slave owner? That's John Quincy Adams. Jackson won the popular and electoral votes, but not the majority of them. And because of that, since he doesn't have the majority, it goes to the House of Representatives for them to decide. And they have to choose from the top 3 vote catchers: Jackson, Adams, and Crawford. Crawford has a heart attack not long after the election, so he has to bow out. So it's now down to Andrew Jackson versus John Quincy Adams. And so the House of Representatives has to decide which one of these individuals they are going to choose as the president. Many of them dislike Andrew Jackson. Henry Clay goes to John Quincy Adams and makes an agreement. And we know for a fact that this happened. It's called the corrupt bargain, where Henry Clay says, I will take all of my supporters and I will have them vote for you, but you have to make me Secretary of State. Now, the problem with this is that if you're Secretary of State, your likelihood of becoming president is a lot higher than if you were not. And so Andrew Jackson was hoping that if he was not elected, to be chosen for the Secretary of State. So this is gonna put this, this umbrella of gloom over them. Jackson obviously very upset. Henry Clay does have his supporters support John Quincy Adams, and of course John Quincy Adams makes him the Secretary of State. This really overshadows his presidency, and because of that, not much gets done. And so some of the handful of policies that John Quincy Adams wants to do, he wants to create a transportation network. He wants a national university in Washington, D.C. He wants a scientific exploration of the far west, a uniform standards and weights and measures, astronomical observatory, and he wants to build a Department of Interior. None of these get past Congress. Congress does nothing. Now later, all of these policies do go through. Every single thing here under other presidents do get passed. But because John Quincy Adams is the one who is putting them forth, people say no. This will lead to a split in the party. At the end of the presidency, there is the Jacksonian Democrats, so they're going to support Andrew Jackson and states' rights. And then you have the National Republicans, who support John Quincy Adams and the American system. Okay, this is kind of set us up right now in the early 1800s for what will become our political parties today. The Democrats convince voters to vote along party lines only, not to vote for candidates. If you identify yourself as a Democrat, vote for all Democrats no matter what. And vice versa. If you identify yourself as a Republican, vote for only Republicans. So I'm going to push this idea of vote for your political party, not for who those people are. Really, that's it. That's all that happens in John Quincy Adams' presidency. He doesn't really have anything happen because everything he puts forth, Congress just says no. And so he leaves the presidency with this, he tried during his presidency, but he leaves the presidency with this kind of lack of anything major happening whatsoever. So the next section, 9.3, is over Andrew Jackson.